Hi there, so today I'm going to be telling you a bit about Magic School AI and some of its features that it includes in relation to lesson planning and tools that I have used in my past to help me reduce lesson planning time, or if I'm looking for new materials, or if I just need some help with some new ideas. So Magic School has a bunch of different tools, and it also has a chatbot, which is titled Raina, so you can see on the left-hand side of my screen. And it's very similar to ChatGPT, so you can ask it questions, it will respond to you, will give you what you ask for based upon the prompts that you use, and it's very helpful. However, I'm going to be focusing more on the tools that it actually includes on the main page and show you what some of those are. So the first one I want to highlight is the worksheet generator, which is relatively new. And so you can put in the grade and the topic or the text. I typically just use the outcomes that I'm looking to hit, and it'll actually create you a worksheet. So this one I'm using one from Math 9. As you can see, it's creating me a bunch of different options for a worksheet. Now, as per any AI related material, I would suggest looking over it yourself before actually just copy and pasting it and using it. As you can see, it will also give you an answer key at the bottom here, which is very helpful, so you can fact check those really easily. However, as we scroll up, we can kind of see here that it actually gives us a strange format. So you'd have to actually rewrite those to make sense for your students. However, easily done and pretty helpful if you're looking for a quick resource. At the bottom of the text that it provides you, you can either save the resource or you can just copy and paste it into whatever format you're looking to put in. So you can put it in a Google Doc, you could put it into Canva, you can put it into Microsoft Word, and you can just paste it right in there and it'll format for you immediately. The next one I'm going to show you is the lesson plan generator. So I'm putting in a grade 9 phys ed outcome based upon SMART goals and creating SMART goals. And so it's creating me a lesson plan, it's giving me times, it's giving me homework, it's giving me extension activities, it's giving me all these things. And at the bottom here, if you have the upgraded version, you can actually ask it to do more things or clarify on certain things. It'll give you more to its prompt. So this one's just the basic lesson plan. However, if you go back to the main page, there's an option to create a lesson plan based upon 5E. And so if you put the exact same thing in here, it will give you another lesson plan based upon the 5E model. The next tool I'm going to show you is the unit plan generator. I really like this one. I find it really easy to give me a starting point for ideas, especially if I'm teaching the same groups of students year after year. It kind of just gives me a new way to head into a unit. So for this one, I'm going to do one that I'm actually hoping to do next year with my grade 9s. And I put in roughly 15 days. Our title is Directions and the Town or our Community. And so I've crafted a bit of context here for the tool to use and what I'm looking for the project at the end. So as you can see here, it's creating me day by day how I can go about teaching this unit. And at the end, it also gives activity suggestions, which is pretty neat. The next thing I'm going to show you is a tool that MagicSchool actually has a couple different versions of. The first one I'm going to show you is Text Rewriter. So this is something if you want to rewrite the text that you have, you just put it in here and you can ask it to rewrite it in a certain format or for a different reading level. Like I said, Magic School does have a couple different versions of rewriting text tools, but this is one that I have used in the past, and it's really easy to use and it keeps the information the same. The next tool I'm going to show you is one of my favorite tools, and when Magic School first came around, this was one of the main possibilities that it had. And so what it is, it's called Make It Relevant. So you can put in the year you teach, I'm putting in an outcome here from Canadian History 11. And then it has an option to describe your students. And so I always put that they're from a rural Nova Scotian town or Bridgewater, Nova Scotia. And then you can include a couple specific criteria about your students. So my students, for example, they love humor, they like activities, and they like to use technology. And so what it's actually doing is creating 3 different possibilities to make your outcome relevant. So it's giving me different activities here. The first one for sure my students would enjoy. The second one, I'm not sure if they would be as keen for that. I think some would be. And then the Shark Tank activity example is a really cool idea that I would have never thought of before. And so this is just pretty cool. Sometimes, especially with different curriculums and different outcomes, it will give you different options. And it can also give you examples from history in the past that can help make it relevant for your students to kind of understand more worldwide or international topics. The next one is pretty cool too. And so I know a lot of teachers are coaches or end up volunteering their time to help coaches. And so there's actually a tool within here that helps you create a practice plan for specific sports. And you can pick the year that they are as well. So I coach middle schoolers for volleyball. So I'm putting in 8th grade, and then I'm putting in what I want it to kind of include throughout the practice. It gives you suggested times and possibilities to implement in your practice plan. I know different tools or different websites have different options for the one I'm about to show you, but I think Magic Tools is pretty easy to use. And so what it is, it creates questions for you based upon a YouTube video. And so here I'm putting in, I'm following the Canadian History 11 curriculum here, so I'm putting in a YouTube video, which is oversimplified, and it's about World War II. And so what it's going to do is actually going to create me, I chose multiple questions, and I chose 10. And it's really cool because it gives you an answer key as well. So it's talking about all things that happened in the video. However, option number 2, for example, there was an advertisement for Skillshare in there. So obviously if I was choosing to use this, I would remove that question. However, what's really cool is at the end, in the answer key, it actually shows you the time frame that the questions were pulled from. So you can easily go and fact check this, whether or not the questions are formulated correctly or the answers are there. It's really easy to use and really simple. So obviously to show you what all Magic School can do would take forever. There are so many different options in here. Depending on what you teach, you might find tools more interesting than others. It creates really easy rubrics for you in here. It will create report card comments. It can formulate emails for you. There's another text one. Does project-based learning. It can create choice boards focusing on UDL for your students. It can create group work ideas, math word problems. It also can help you create IEPs. This one's pretty cool. It makes you a Jeopardy review game. Real world connections is also really neat. It's kind of similar to Make It Relevant, but I've used it in the past with history courses. It has science labs, science assessments. You can use this one to help make your directions more clear for your students. There's a whole bunch. There's a song generator, which my students like, and then another cool one, which can either be good or bad depending on what your level of humor is, but it actually creates teacher jokes for you. I've put these in my slideshows before. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. So what I've been showing you is Magic School, which is based for teachers, but there's also a Magic Student section. And so this is a bunch of different tools or similar tools that can help students with their writing or with their projects, or come up with ideas. So they can put in text, they can get feedback for themselves, they can talk to specific characters in an AI chatbot. There's a whole bunch of different possibilities here that I think could be very useful for students and very interesting and kind of a good introduction to AI for some of them. And also, as I mentioned earlier, so everything I've showed you so far has been on the Magic School free subscription. However, if you want to do a lot of saves, or you want to do access different tools, or you want to kind of do a little bit more and export it to different areas, you can pay $8.33 a month. However, I've never paid for it, and I use it all the time, and I've never had an issue with the free version. Hopefully with all this, you find Magic School useful for your lesson planning, and it can help you next year. Good luck and happy planning!